My wife wanted attention and validation at 40, and she landed in the hospital. Let me start by saying my wife, Rachel, is an incredible woman. We've been married for 15 years, have 2 beautiful kids, and up until recently life was running pretty smoothly. But when Rachel turned 40, something changed. I didn't notice it at first, but looking back, the signs were all there. This is the story of how her desire for attention and validation led her down a path that none of us expected. One that ended with her in the hospital. Rachel's 40th birthday hit her hard. She spent the weeks leading up to it joking about how she was getting old, but I could tell there was something deeper beneath the humor. She started looking in the mirror more often, criticizing her appearance and scrolling endlessly through social media. It wasn't long before she began making changes. First, it was the gym, something she hadn't been to in years. She signed up for classes and started working out almost daily. Then came the shopping trips. Rachel started buying clothes that were, let's just say, more revealing than her usual wardrobe. At first, I didn't think much of it. I thought, good for her. She's taking care of herself. But then it started to feel off. One evening, I came home from work to find Rachel taking selfies in the kitchen. Not just casual selfies though, full-on glamour shots with perfect lighting and poses. She was wearing a dress I'd never seen before, one that left little to the imagination. "Babe, what's this for?" I asked, trying not to sound judgmental. "Oh, just for fun," she said with a dismissive wave. "I'm posting it on Instagram." Now, Rachel wasn't big on social media before this. She'd occasionally post pictures of the kids or a family vacation, but suddenly her feed was full of selfies, gym progress shots, and captions like *40 and fabulous. She started getting tons of likes and comments, mostly from guys. I didn't want to be the jealous husband, but I couldn't help feeling uneasy. When I brought it up, Rachel accused me of being insecure. "I just want to feel good about myself," she said. "There's nothing wrong with that." The attention she was getting became addictive. She started spending hours scrolling through her comments, responding to messages, and comparing herself to influencers. I noticed she was staying up late, often glued to her phone, and waking up tired and irritable. One night, I overheard her talking to a friend on the phone. "I just want to feel wanted again," she said. "I'm tired of feeling invisible." That hit me like a ton of bricks. Had I made her feel that way? I tried to step up, complimenting her more, planning date nights and helping out around the house. But it didn't seem to matter. She was chasing validation from strangers on the internet, and nothing I did could compete with that. Things escalated when Rachel decided to sign up for a local charity 5K. She was determined to get in the best shape of her life and started pushing herself harder at the gym. She even hired a personal trainer who, in my opinion, was a little too friendly. Rachel's workouts became more intense, and her diet became extreme. She was cutting calories to the point where she barely ate. I tried to talk to her about it, but she brushed me off. "I know what I'm doing," she said. Then came the photo shoot. Rachel booked a professional session to celebrate her fitness journey. She spent weeks preparing, and by the time the day came, she looked amazing, but she was also visibly exhausted. The morning of the shoot, Rachel fainted in the bathroom. I rushed to her side, and she came to after a few seconds, insisting she was fine. But later that day during the shoot, it happened again. This time she didn't wake up. She was rushed to the hospital, where doctors told us she was severely dehydrated and malnourished. Her body had been pushed to its limit, and the stress she'd put on herself was too much to handle. Sitting by her hospital bed, I felt a mix of emotions: fear, guilt, and anger. How had it come to this? How had I let it come to this? When Rachel woke up, she broke down in tears. "I don't know who I've become," she said. "I just wanted to feel good about myself again." We had a long, honest conversation. She admitted that turning 40 had made her feel like she was losing her identity, as a woman, as a partner, as someone who mattered. Social media had only made it worse, feeding her insecurities and creating a constant need for approval. It was a turning point for both of us. Rachel realized she needed to focus on her health, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. And I realized I needed to be more present and supportive, not just assume she was fine because she looked fine on the surface. It's been a few months since that day in the hospital. Rachel has stepped away from social media and is focusing on therapy and self-care. She's also started mentoring younger women at her gym, helping them build confidence without relying on external validation. As for me, I've learned to appreciate her in ways I didn't before. We're working on our marriage, spending more time together as a family, and making sure we're both on the same page about our needs and feelings. Looking back, this experience was a wake-up call, for Rachel, for me, and for our relationship. It reminded us both that true validation doesn't come from likes, comments, or strangers online. It comes from within, and from the people who truly love and care about you. If you've ever struggled with self-worth or felt like you're chasing validation in all the wrong places, know that you're not alone. And if you're reading this, Rachel wants you to know, *, take care of yourself. You're enough just as you are *.